After the fun and pure entertainment of last weekend's All-Star matches, this week we're back to the brilliant business of battling for the Daido Life SV League title here in Japan, as Jtekt Stings Aichi look to end league leaders and reigning champions Suntory Sunbirds Osaka's incredible 22-game winning streak in a rematch from last season's championship final. Thanks for joining us here on BBTV, your home of Japanese volleyball. We're in the Okazaki Central Park Gymnasium for the first match-up this season between Stings and Suntory. Simon Golding with you for this weekend double-header that has Suntory Sunbirds in the light blue as firm favourites to extend their streak, but against a home team finding some glimpses of last year's form that took them all the way to the decider last season, and in recent weeks has jumped them from 5th to 3rd with 6 wins in their last 10 games. Well, Suntory Sunbirds coach Olivier Lecard, one of last weekend's all-star coaches incidentally, has found his perfect winning formula pretty early in the season, with Japan stars setter Masahiro Sekita, ex-Stings playmaker, and captain Ran Takahashi leading the line and supported by big scoring, big Russians, and we do mean big, opposite Dmitry Mazersky at 7'2", 2 meters and 18, and Igor Kliuka. They've scored 861 points between them, and that includes 91 blocks and 51 aces. That's nearly 6 sets won on special teams alone. They're likely to be key again tonight. So Ran Takahashi starts out on the wing with Igor Kliuka. No surprises there. Still no start for Cuban Alan Diamas. Through the middle, regular features Renoniki and Taishion Adera, the 2 middle starters pretty much for the whole of this season. And then the brilliant Masahiro Sekita running the show in that setting position with the giant Russian Dmitry Mazersky opposite for Olivier Lecard. So absolutely no surprises whatsoever from the French coach, with the brilliant Tomohiro Ogawa at libero in that defensive passing role. Well, if we were at Sunbirds, it would be an almighty build-up to the announcement of the home team coming to the floor. Jtekt Stings Aichi going to try and match them in their home venue. So I don't think this is a surprise. Li Qiang Yokai has been brilliant through the middle in replacement of injured Kentaro Takahashi. So he starts with Shuto Kawaguchi. Yurei Kawahigashi has played well at centre this season. He's the playmaker once again. And it can't be a quiet day for either Stephen Boyer or the other overseas player on the floor, TJ DeFalco. So France and Boyer in that opposite slot. DeFalco out on the left side playing with his regular partner Kenya Fujinaka. So Shimba Kojiro keeping his powder dry with regard to Brazilian Ricardo Lucarelli, who waits in the wings. Stings do have a good range of substitutions that they can bring to this match should that be required. But the two big guys, DeFalco and Boyer, have to go big if they're going to improve Stings' lots with a couple of victories this weekend. I think they take one victory over the league leaders, Suntory Sunbirds, but even that is going to be tough work indeed. Suntory at the moment dominant. On the reserve to get things underway here, and sportingly allowed to drop for the ace by the team in the light blue. 23 wins and 1 loss in their 24 matches to top the league, and there's their captain Ran Takahashi taking over incidentally from former captain on the other side of the net, Kenya Fujinaka, now with Stings. Okay, we are good to go with one of the mouth-watering matchups as we head towards the back end of this season. Everybody's been waiting to see how Stings get on against a Suntory Sunbirds team that are in top gear. DeFalco in your picture, one of the key players for Stings today in the yellow and red. Well, DeFalco's matchup against Mazersky is going to be impressive, but we won't see that for a little while. Mazersky starting backcourt. Asseco in one front court lineup only to start with, and then he's into the serving pattern. Away we go then. In the yellow and red, the home side, Jtekt Stings Aichi get this league match underway. An absolute thriller against the team in light blue, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. And we start with a tumbling defense from the big Russian. And it's good enough to give his captain, Ran Takahashi, a chance to attack for the point. He's a big boy, Dmitry Mazersky. We say it every week, but you can't get away from the fact he's one of the tallest professional athletes on the planet, let alone in volleyball. Yet he's still happy to get down and hit the floor. Stays in as a blocker this time and breaks for yet another defense. And it's another power volley from Takahashi. Not quite getting the feeds he wants yet from Sakita. Boye's first offense is long. Well, he's had one big game, one quiet game. That's been the pattern for Stephen Boye over the last few weeks. He can't afford a quiet one at all this weekend against Sunbirds. Nice work through the middle. Kawa Higashi, number 6, the playmaker. This Stings team looks to open things up early. Gives very impressive Yu Chang, Chinese Taipei middle blocker, his first score of the game. Yu Chang, Shuto Kawaguchi, the two starting middles. Got to be big for Stings today. Falco goes massive from the service line. Agawa passes him. And a typically ponderous Renaniki winning shot through the middle. Not a tall player, Renaniki, at 2 meters and 4. Not always the fastest to the net, but he is effective. 3-1 start then for the team in light blue, Suntory Sunbirds. Captain goes power. Tests the former captain for Suntory, Fujinaka. And the first swing for Kliuka is devilish. Goodness me. He enjoyed that one. 2 meters and 9 tall, Igor Kliuka. Well, it's a standard play from Mazersky. Pass in the front court, try and run the middle in his old position. Little spinner, tests Fujinaka again, who has to go for the play. The blockers force him to tip. No tip about Mazersky. Great defense in the backcourt from Kawahigashi. Oh, what a pickup. Breathless stuff at the start of this game. It's another brilliant touch on the floor, and that's going to be challenged. Olivier Lecar believes that has hit the Taraflex. So the point allowed to play on by our first referee. Lecar is going to risk a challenge here, feeling that Takuma Araki, the libero, didn't quite get his hands under that one. In fact, it's Kazuyuki Takahashi, my apologies, the captain. Libero, 4 Stings in the different coloured shirt. Can't tell much here from the reactions of the Stings players. It may just have scraped the floor. Good effort though. Yeah, so I think there, Takahashi just suggesting to his captain, that's to his coach, that's slipped over the side of the hands, caught the floor, and eagle-eyed from Olivier Lecar produces a challenge and a point to give Suntory a 4-1 lead. He entered into the fun of the fair at the All-Stars game last weekend. He had a brilliant time when he came on to serve for his team in set 2. What a shot. This time passed brilliantly. Once again, the hitting error. You can see exactly what the attackers are trying to do. Sting's trying to go for the hands of the blockers because out of system there's not much else to work with. The errors are coming, the points are flowing for Suntory. First time out then called by Shinbo Kochiro, probably a little earlier than he would have liked. Sting's in trouble. Well, full remarks to TV director and crew. We don't always get to hear from those timeouts. We get pictures, we don't always get to hear. It's nice to get a bit of insight there into Shimbo Kuchiro's thinking. Just trying to calm the players who are already under pressure. Not the only team that has been so from the onslaught that Suntory Sunbirds bring to their Daido Life SV League matches. Look at the crowd here in Yokozaki. It's a brilliant attendance again. And that is a brilliant shot. Oh, he couldn't resist, could he? Kenya Fujinaka, 1.88 meters tall, just has a little look through the net at 2.18 meters tall Dmitry Mazerski, the player he's just beaten on the line ball. Yu Chang serves, Kliuka passes Sekita away from the net, still tries to run Baniki, and pays the price. Coverage there from Stings. They're going to have to take pretty much all of their transition opportunities in this match. It's taken by Boye for his first point of the day. Chan changes his serving angle. Better pass from Kliuka. Just allows the release in system to Mazerski, which means he's got that bit of extra space. Not that he always needs it. Keep you in touch with the point scoring as we kick along through the match. But you're going to expect to see some big numbers from Boye and Mazerski. Farka's going to have to contribute as well. And Fujinaka, when asked to do the job, has to do it. And he hasn't done it on that occasion. And Mazerski goes to 3 already. That's going to be a major problem, these rotations as they come through, and it's all well and good to keep DeFalco away from Mazerski in offence, but it means that Fujinaka gets left with the job for a couple of rotations. That's not fun. Kenya. Mazerski won't mind. And thinking about other things, maybe. Fujinaka beaten pretty easily. Renaniki jump float serve. Free something. Lively start from the league leaders and reigning champions. Boye stopped. Well, lest we forget, Igor Kliuka is 2.09 meters tall. That is rather overshadowed by his Russian compatriot at 2.18, but he's still a huge force in the net. And that is a massive block on Boye. Yeah, in pretty simple terms, don't think about the past, think about the future. Guilty of thinking, I think, about his test against Mazerski at the net. Full attention to the past just yet. That has to be changed by Stings. They've got to get this ball in Tsukawa Higashi, the setter, otherwise they have no chance pulling this Suntory block apart. And they need space, the hitters need space against the big blockers. Riki serves, Fujinaka passes, defended easily. Mazerski jumps the blockers, taps it, just taps it over the top of Shuto Kawaguchi. Kenya Fujinaka. He's on a run, 11-3, Suntory absolutely hammering in this first set. Another ace, too much traffic moving around in front of the passer. Captain Kazuyuki Takahashi, and just lets that ball drop to the floor for a second. Oniki ace. Poor pass. Another easy solution for the blockers. Kliuka has slowed Boye down again. Not quite sure why Sekita was defending there. Stings may get away with it, and they do. DeFalco forces the issue. No need for Sakita to defend on this balloon ball. Ram was all over it. It's just allowed this attack from DeFalco. Well hit. First point of the game for TJ then. Boye goes to work on the serve, and he knows he's got to go big. As has DeFalco, and that's why he's tried to put a bit of extra on that one. And with the risk, sometimes comes reward, but very often comes with the error. And here we go. Here's the serve that very often finishes games. 47 aces and counting, not added to by a horrible sideways ball toss that Resovia sometimes ends up with. Way beyond his left shoulder. And he can't catch it with his right. Buildup looks tame by comparison. And a swing. Kliuka has settled into his role. Loves a fast ball out to that antenna, but it's delivered out there at such a height. It's so difficult for the blockers to get themselves sorted. You've got to get off the floor, you've got to get up high, you've got to get over the net. All of that has to happen before Kliuka has swung from the top of the antenna. Fortunately for Stings, both the Russians out of luck at the service line. That matters on the scoreboard. 14-6 is the lead for the visitors. Brad working hard here to try and turn things back in favour of Stings, the home team, in yellow and red. There's the space that the setters are trying to get for their players. Good defence from Stings. Favour returned. Shonadera not really going for an approach there. A little bit lax from Suntory. Not their full attention to the transition ball, and it's just allowed Stings another chance. Boye this time makes his first point of the game. Better from Onodera. Stars involved in last weekend's match. Onodera made an appearance. Masahiro Sakita, Tomohiro Agawa. From the Suntory point of view, from Sting's team, they had Fujinaka, Iwamoto replacing Kentaro and DeFalco. And it's DeFalco who blasts that one way out of play. A lot of hitting errors in this first set from Stings. That's okay if you can go hard at it and then just reduce those errors. You're in good shape. Can't be tentative in this match, Stings. Little tickler still in play. Well salvaged by Aniki and Sakita. Very nice tempo. Oh, it's such a shame. That was a really good tempo on that attack. It's been hit wide by DeFalco, who's pondering the situation. But it's going to be looked at. Koichiro's going to use a challenge here just to slow things down. Coaches do this when they use their timings. What a great ball. But he's not going to get anything from the challenge because it's out. But he's not using the challenge for that purpose. He's using it to slow the game and have a chat to his players. Well, these are the weekends that the players really live for here in Japan, a chance to test themselves against the world's best on the opposition team. DeFalco and Boye would have been looking forward to this. My goodness me. Well, would you believe it? In real time, that looked way out. Freeze frame, there's a compression on the ball that takes DeFalco's spike onto the line. And my apologies to TJ. The tempo on the ball was beautiful on the set, the finish equally so. Oh, followed by the block, and TJ DeFalco's come to the party. He likes a party. Oh, it might be out. I'm not saying anything. Go on then. Go on then. Just wide, but he had hands on that one. Change in tempo, but beautiful defence from Rzeszow and Jtekt. Yeah, this is great stuff from Stings. This is much more resolved. And, certainly attention to detail on the finish. That's more clinical. Great work in transition. Swing from Jtekt. The lead is reduced to a paltry 8. Not playing ball. Asseco can roast that one over. But in case you were wondering, we're kind of in writing off set 1 territory for the home side. Suntory know it as well, so this is a formality really, set 1 with this lead. And the challenge for Suntory at least will come if Stings play like they've just been playing in the last few minutes in the early phases of set 2. Creating momentum here. Jtekt at the service line. Blocking. Really good blocking. Boyer gets revenge. And the big beaming smile from the Frenchman. But you know how he's feeling about that one as he shuts down Jtekt. These Stings fans have been looking forward to welcoming Suntory for a while now. He goes hard at that one, defended but too close to the net. Asseco will be kicking himself. That's the problem with the modern game and the modern blockers. You don't want to be too close to the net with those transition passes. That one was relatively easy for 19-11. Suntory still in control. Sticky set from Higashi. Good reactions, nice ball from Jtekt, but the net touch means the end to the point. Stings had it under control. And neither Kawaguchi or Boyer think they touched the net. We can see another challenge. It's 1 for 1 at the moment. Shimbo Koichiro after that brilliant challenge on the Asseco ball. Working hard here, the Stings players, to try and find solutions. At the moment, they haven't asked any questions really of Suntory. They've just allowed Suntory to dictate terms. Now they've got to try and find ways of playing each of these rotations and dealing with the pressure. Yeah, it's definitely a net touch. Quite a big one in the end from Kawaguchi, who was saying he didn't touch the net. He did. Challenge lost. Point lost. Ace machine. Renaniki. 2 so far in the match. 7 for the season. Good coverage. Sakita's defence on the line has been sweet. And Jtekt misses. Stings finding a route to some points here. They're also learning at last which of the rotations that should produce points for them. Jtekt under pressure. Remember, they do have Alan Diamas on the bench if they need to make the change on that left side. A couple of aces from Boyer would be useful here. Spinner down the line, passed well. Oh, superb from the middleman. Well, in the old version of the game, before Libros appeared, middles had to pass. Until, of course, the USA system took them out of that as well. But middles were responsible for passing right up through the 70s and 80s. Tashi Onodera doing a good job there. Mazurski's ball toss is getting further towards the crowd. It was virtually unhittable, that one. Fujinaka to serve. Mazurski, no joy from the baseline yet. Fine from the backcourt. His usual accuracy takes him to 5 points on that cross-court swing. Takes Suntory to just 3 points from the set. Change up. Tsuki Kashiwada, middle blocker, comes in as a point blocker. 4th season Suntory Sunbirds man. No setter on the floor then for Suntory. No joy for the Russians, so Yuka and Mazurski have missed 4 serves now between them. Remember, that's a pairing that has 51 aces for the season. Kawaguchi out. In comes regular serving substitute Moya Fujiwara, who is a very, very good left side player in his own right, but at the moment, with this particular lineup, the Stings has been left with this role. Nice pass. Nice tempo as well. How early was Kliuka in the air? But the blockers read it pretty nicely. Let's have a look at the timing here of the blockers. Yeah, they don't get taken at all. Yu Chang and DeFalco on it. DeFalco just couldn't quite close the net. Kliuka scrapes the point. 4 for him in this opening set. Aniki with 4, Mazurski with 6. And Suntory almost over the line for 1-0. All over it. Ball just a little bit tucked to the net for Stephen Boye. Aniki, Ran Takahashi organising themselves to a very good stop. 10 points, 10 set points for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Little hybrid ball from Onodera. It's a good defence, that's in play. No, not quite enough on it, and Mazurski tickles it over. It's a free ball. Should be the first set. No, horrible from Sakita to Aniki. And a man who's had very little to do in set number 1, Captain Ran, gets the final point. And they have absolutely demolished Stings in set 1. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, 25-14 to lead 1-0. Ouch. I'm not sure you can say much else. That's a huge scoreline. As we've seen so often in volleyball matches down the years, a big first set win doesn't always mean the match continues in that vein. Stings have had a chance now to get a good look at these rotations. They know what jobs they have to do. Boye and DeFalco will attempt to move through the gears. As long as they can get through those rotations with Fujinaka across the front line, he's got to be clean on the finish. They've got to get that middle opened up. But to do that, they've got to get ball control. None of that was there with the power serving the Suntory team, despite the fact Mazurski and Kliuka missed all of their serves. Breakdown from the opener. Suntory not in top gear when it comes to siding out. did really well on blocking and transition, but side out under a bit of pressure. Sting's working hard to slow them down there. Well, that scoreline, 25-14, tends to suggest it's a one-sided matchup. Well, I think Stings have plenty of opportunities here to change things around. Cochero's the man who has the decisions to make and the pressure to bear, but I think he should stick with this starting lineup and give them a chance just to settle into their work. Top 3 scorers in the game at the moment, all from Suntory, Mazerski 6 and Nicky and Kaliuka 4 apiece. And then Li Chang is the best of the scorers with Boye on the other side of the net. He's got 3 points along with Stephen Boye. This Li Chang is the man who's replacing Kentaro, still out with the ankle injury. It's the All-Stars game last weekend. So an improvement in serving, an improvement in pass to allow that scoreboard to tick on side out is absolutely a necessity here for the team in yellow. Jtekt stings Aichi. Then maybe they've got a chance of getting to work, scoring in other departments. Away we go then with set 2. Suntory dominant in set 1, the team in light blue, the league leaders, the reigning champions. Start with a serve error from Takahashi, and that's what Stings need. Suntory just to drop away from this top-level performance. He's got a substitution for Stings, so he hasn't stuck with his original lineup. Shimbo Koichiro has brought Noe Fujiwara in to replace Kenya Fujinaka. Boye and DeValco still on the floor as Mazerski bashes one away. And clear of the baseline, 2-0 start for Stings. Just what they needed. Fujiwara will be chomping at the bit to get into this game. He'll be desperate to prove what he can do. Long arm swing just allows the blockers to get a touch. Exciting defensive play drifts onto the net. Got to touch from the Falco. Unfortunately for Fujiwara, comes up against the big hands of Dmitry Mazerski. Aniki, 2 aces in set 1. With his first serve in set 2. Boye, thunderous. Lovely set. And Boye with a smiling apology to Takahashi for hitting him. Takahashi doesn't want to know. Oh, this is so often the case here in Japan, the game being played in a great spirit. Despite the ferocity of the spiking. Huge from Mazerski. Now then, can he get a serve right? So far, 2 sideways ball tosses from Dmitry Mazerski. He's absolutely done himself. Let's see if he can get this one right. 7 points and counting then. Again, takes himself a long way across the baseline, but puts it in. And the swing from Fujiwara is off the block. Blue for the point. Well, it was the referee's opinion that it was off the block. Olivia Lacar's opinion differs. And that will be based on what his blockers have told him. And if they say no touch, this has a pretty good chance of being a Suntory point. Fingernail of that finger that got touched. Dare telling his coach that he didn't make contact. They need this point. It didn't go anywhere near that, and in the end, can be deceptive. Sakita not reaching really high enough. It's well clear of Tashimadera's right hand. Not the start. Not if Fujiwara wanted. Couple of errors already. 3-all for Suntory. Worst part is Mazurski gets another serve. Fujiwara passes well. Goes for the tip and tips brilliantly. Like the defensive effort from Dmitry Mazurski. We used to call it taking the dog for a walk in the park. Just imagine being pulled along by a dog on the lead with your hand out in front of you, and that was Mazurski's defensive effort. That's Boye's serving effort. Very good. Kliuka out of system, goes off pace and wins a cheeky point. Well, there had to be more of a pushback from Stings in set 2. That has come. How long can they keep this rolling? They've got to take this set as deep as possible. Kliuka out of luck. 3 service errors from 3 attempts. Been a bit of an enigma, Igor Kliuka, for all of his quite spectacular brilliance in offense. He can have his moments where he will lose his way in a game. But the serve. The serving substitute, Rai Fujiwara, on for a start in this set. Makes a mistake on the serve, the irony. Nice pass. Nice coverage. Oh, this is super volleyball. Oh, well played, Suntory. And just too brutal from DeFalco. Well, he finished the All-Stars game with a shot like that last weekend, and he's finished that rally on another inside rapido set. He took Sakita out with him. Player that gave him that set last week to finish, his former setter here at Stings. Very nice again. Both teams into a side-out rhythm here, which is fun to watch. A bit more of a contest in this second set. Now, Sakita at the service line means Mazurski front court. So the biggest blocker in the league into the front line and gets hands straight on the ball. Dinner plate hands right around the Mikatsa. He makes this ball look so small. Look at that. No chance for DeFalco. TJ won't have liked getting blocked on that last point. Might see him get the ball again here. No, give him to the middle instead. Good choice. And good finish from Yu Chang, who was really impressed in the last few weeks. Good hit. Well, when you're playing against the champions, when you're playing against a team on a winning run like Suntory is, you have to be near perfect. Stings are not that at the moment, but they're playing well enough. It's a good effort again. Liu Chang is really having a look at what's in front of him when he gets in the air. And he knew there that he was being challenged. He's found an angle to deny the blocker. 2 middles in a row then, set by Kawahigashi, the setter. Good serve from DeFalco. Out of system for Mazurski, and he just smoothly strokes it past the block onto the sideline. 9 points and counting. Mazurski looks like he's going to win the race to double figures yet again. Boye shows he's got some shots as well. Little cutter down the line from the Frenchman. 2020 Olympic gold medalist with Les Bleus. Rzeszow gold with Russia in 2012 in that historic comeback victory over Brazil. Boye with France, Lucarelli 2016, not on the court at the moment with Brazil. All gold medalists in their own right. Back to the Rzeszow serve. Crowd trying to disrupt him a bit. He's got his ball toss into a much better zone now. And Fujiwara's done really well against the three blockers. Kliuka's annoyed with himself for not finishing that ball properly. Got all the way there and then never really got over the net. So important from Sting's point of view that the Fujiwara substitution works. Good serve. Good set. Oh, great blocking. Well, that was stunning from Rzeszow to get that ball into that hitting position, and Kliuka's jump high, swung hard and hit the net. Well played Stings, forcing the issue. Testing Ogawa's pass. First pipe attack that Sekita has used, and it's a really impressive one. So well hit by Run. Lovely ball control. So 4 serve errors in 4 attempts from Igor Kliuka. Your own thoughts about that. And those of you that have joined us on VB TV today, thanks for your company. You might be wondering why Lucarelli was not favoured in that left side substitution. Well, it's a very simple fact that at the moment only 2 overseas players are allowed on court in the SV League, which is DeFalco and Boye for Stings, so Lucarelli can't come out onto the floor while they are out there. One of them, DeFalco, with the overpass, costs his team the point. That will change, we are informed. Next season, 26-27, will allow 3 overseas players on court here in Japan. It's a big change, and it will make a big difference. What a play. Well, that was perfect from Stings. The attack, the pass from DeFalco, the set and the swing, all very nice. And Rzeszow, again, tumbling defence. He's a big lad. And he's gone down hard there. He's up for the challenge here. 13 apiece then, all the 13s. Nicely done by our TV director. Kliuka running pass. And just enough control on that to make the point. Liu Chang is annoyed that he's not managed to get that ball to drop. Ran Takahashi makes it to 6 points now. Rzeszow has got to double figures. He's on 10. And it's Rzeszow v DeFalco on this one. No, ball goes to Boye instead. And he slaps it right off the top of the blocker's fingers. Away for 14 all. Good setting choices by Yudai Higashi. Yudai serves, Boye front court. Great defence from the Sting setter. Oh, it's a magic block. That is a magic block, and DeFalco's done well there not to get sucked into the rest of the action. He must have been so tempted, but he held his ground, waited for the quick ball, and made a very good step out wide. Service errors are hurting Stings, though. They needed to make Suntory play there, and Kawaegashi knows it. Just gives Suntory more opportunity to build the pressure. Very good. Kawaegashi using the less favoured attacker, Naoya Fujiwara, out of the back court. And this pipe attack has worked well. Free net. Things going well here in set 2. DeFalco turns the ball to make the pass tough. Kliuka against 3 blockers is defeated. It's another brilliant effort from Stings. Well, they're working really hard here, Stings, and what is noticeable is that their trickier rotations are actually yielding some points. They're not just getting through them, they're getting points. First time out of the game, called by Olivier Lecard. Lucarelli still right in the middle of all of it. He's really good in the way he contributes. Very upbeat, buoyant character, even when he is on the bench for whole matches, which must be frustrating for him, but he will play a role during the course of this season. Oh, wow. I think this is very close. DeFalco thinks he's got the ace. Referee says no. I don't know if Shimba Koichiro is going to have a look. He's had a long think about this. He's decided not to challenge. Well, Mazurski wanted to serve, but it wasn't his turn. It was Renaniki. And instead, the 2 ace man, instead of being allowed to stay out there, he's been replaced by serving substitute Rui Takahashi. And so Ram's brother back on the floor with his sibling. And hits a good ball. Oh, magic defense from his brother Ran. And Mazurski is stopped. The blocking from Stings in this second set is completely at odds with what we saw in the first. This is way, way better. And now, Mazurski, Kliuka and Ran not having it all their own way. Fabulous effort from Liu Chang again. Liu Chang, at the moment, Sting's leading scorer on 6 points. Another chance to go. But this time to a 3-point lead. Boye can't take it. Agawa defends. And that is magnificent from Kliuka. It is a real tactical battle down there at the moment. The blockers are winning the contest more often than not. Not always with a kill block, but they're slowing this ball down. And it's the Stings block that is just about edging it. Mazurski to try and turn it back in favour of Suntory. Good serve. Fujiwara with the pass, gets the ball and gets blocked in turn. Now, if that is Sekita that's got all of that, Fujiwara will be really annoyed with himself. He's opted for the line and he's been shut down by the shortest player out on court for Suntory. Good finish by Sekita against his old team. Just 175 tall, gets hands on that as well. This is a bit of a problem for Stings, and it's not a problem that turns into a point. That is a wild swing from Mazurski, and a very fortunate escape for Stings. That was the big chance for Stings to really make things a bit easier. Instead, at 19-all, they've still got to weather the storm. Kliuka, 4 attempts, 4 misses. Let's see if he can get something in from the service line on number 5. And really, for his team, he's got to put this in play. He does, and it's a good serve. Fujiwara out of system, gets it down the front of the blockers as they, this time, hide Sekita away. I can't get the thinking on that one. Sekita's just made a stuff block and a touch block, and then they've hidden him on that play. Go figure. Fujiwara scores for 2019. He serves. This time puts it in. Easy pass though. And just keeping him in rhythm. Sekita there. Going back to Mazerski and asking him to get the job done, which he does. 20s. We've got a couple of substitutions, so Fujinaka will come back in for Stings. And coming back on court as a blocking substitution, Tatsuki Kashiwada. Welcome back to the floor, Kenya. He's going to play front court. Big call this. Just wide. In fact, he's come on, my apologies, he's come on for Fujiwara, who's just served, so he's going to be passing Fujinaka, and a brilliant passer he is. Not required, though, after the Taishin Odera serve error, and neither is Kashiwada. So, back in comes the setter, Masahiro Sekita. And a substitution again in the blocking department, this time for Stings. Sayata Saki, 22-year-old middleman. 1m96 tall, makes a bigger barrier in that front court next to Liu Chang. No setter on court for Stings. Very good. And in fact, Sakai fulfills the role as setter with a very tidy jump set to the backcourt for Boye. What a finish from Boye. 22-20, Stings in business here. Second time out, called by Suntory coach Olivier Lecard. Well, this is turning into the game we hoped for from a neutral point of view. Much better contest, and Stings are definitely in it here. If Suntory want to win this set, you would suggest they've got to get the job done here on side out first of all, without any further points conceded. They look far more relaxed. Stings, just a bit of a hiccup in set one. Took a bit of time to get going, but they've really worked hard here to learn their way through the match. Fujiwara on the bench. Fujinaka back out to the floor. And another superb block. Liu Chang is on fire. Oh, wow. 23-20 with the shutdown on Mazerski, and Suntory in trouble here. Fabulous height from Liu Chang. Massive chance for Stings to go 1-all. Good coverage. Brilliant from Fujinaka. And DeFalco is in turn stopped by Sekita and Renaniki. Still though, Stings in the driving seat. Back comes the playmaker Kawigashi. So the setter's back on the floor for Stings to set this attack. Oh, wow. That is just a huge block, but it's a brilliant hit from Boye. And he hit this really hard. Out off the hands for 24-21. And it looks like we've got a game on our hands now. 3 set points for the home side. First one saved. Finish is good by Run, and he goes to the service line. So we're right back round to rotation 1. And remember, this set started with a Run Takahashi service error, which kind of set the tone. Suntory under pressure since then. It's a good pass. Boye for the set. Doesn't put it away. Mazurski to keep his team in it. Manages to win the joust, but it works out very nicely for Stings. Boye with the score. And Stings with the set victory, 25-22 to level the match at 1 set apiece. And on that evidence, as the players return to the dressing room for their customary 10-minute break, I think we've got a game on our hands here on VBTV. It's 1-1 between Jtekt Stings Aichi and Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Stay with us on VBTV. More action to come from this cracking matchup. Welcome back and well played to the home side. Jtekt stings Aichi, who's managed to turn this game completely around after a first set thrashing handed out by reigning champions and league leaders Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Jtekt Stings Aichi bounce back, one change to bring in Noya Fujiwara for Kenya Fujinaka. That seemed to help, but it was a coherent team performance. They worked hard on their block, they all shared responsibility for scoring, and Stings looked the more organised of the two teams at the end of set 2, which they won to level the match at 1 set apiece. And it looks like we've got a game on our hands here, and certainly Suntory Sunbirds have got some work to do if they want to preserve their winning streak, which stands at 22 games and counting. Very noticeable, Tomohiro Ogawa, former Stings player. There's two former Stings players out on court for Suntory, one of them being Masahiro Sekita in the number 8 shirt, the other number 10, Tomohiro Ogawa. Very noticeable. Ogawa didn't have anything to do with the warm-up coming back from the dressing room. Away we go then. Set number 3 and the home side. Jtekt Stings Aichi in the yellow and red are back in the picture. Can they stay in the picture against the team in the light blue? Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Good start, nice opening rally, and Boye can't benefit. Looked a little one-dimensional Suntory once they were taken out of system. Struggled to really get a flow to their offense. Kliuka and Mizerski's scoring just slowed down. Good block on DeFalco, nice reuse, tight ball. DeFalco manages to get the recycle. Gets a third go at it and wins it against the giant Mizerski. Three really tight sets there from Kawahigashi, but eventually DeFalco gets it done. Coverage by Stings. Kliuka covered well again by the quite brilliant Liu Chang alongside Stephen Boye. I think Boye, if he got this block, which he did, Boye's now levelled Mizerski at 11 points apiece as the top scorer in the match. More defence. Block is working well for Stings. DeFalco finishes on the transition ball. Well, Sekita was his setter last year, and they had a constant battle for the entire season, a season which went really well in the end, but they had a constant battle with Sekita dictating terms on the tempo, and DeFalco demanding faster and faster. Kawahigashi is happier just to go with whatever the American wants. Mizerski gets the finish just to restore some order, but Suntory look like a team under pressure right now. Stings look bubbly, ebullient, up for the fight. Great pass from Fujiwara, takes the return ball, and Kawahigashi not happy with himself. Maybe not the right decision there, and Fujiwara, watch his footwork here, goes back, stays back, and then struggles to get to that ball. Whereas most passers now, left side, you'll see them onto the front foot as the pass happens. Again, takes the big step back, doesn't get the ball this time. Liu Chang is defended. Oh dear. Not sure about the thinking there from Yudai Higashi. Not when you got DeFalco and Boye left and right side. Pays your money, you take your chances, and on that occasion the block too good. Followed by the serve being too good. Sekita scoots into position, gets a good ball in. Doesn't give Kliuka what he wants though, and Kliuka takes it away from him to give Mizerski the bump set. Defended nicely by Fujiwara. And has DeFalco got the fingertips? He says yes. Referee took a bit of time to agree. Doesn't agree. It's given the point initially to Suntory, but the touch surely confirmed. Yes, it is Sting's point. This is such entertaining stuff, and it tends to indicate that we're in for the duration here. Won't be surprised if this goes the distance in game one. DeFalco to serve then, both teams still in the mix at the start of set 3. TJ roars the crowd in support of the American. Well, he was up to his antics. He loved the All-Stars game, Torrey DeFalco. And he was up to his antics there, jumping up onto the ref stand and grabbing the cards. And he's suggesting here a card could be forthcoming. All in good humour, of course. Just getting the scoreboard sorted. Would have been 5-3 if DeFalco had missed the shot, but he's hit the block. So instead, it's 4-all. Which doesn't help TJ with his next serve, of course, the delay. Really tricky game to call this. The start from Suntory has nothing to do really with how this game's going to play out from here. It's just a free set given by Stings, who just didn't get into gear particularly early, but their second set performance an indication that they're in the match. And Olivier Lecar may be forced to make changes if Fiuka and Mizerski can't deliver. Good serve, big serve, but it's out. Fancied his chances though, and worth a go. Now Stings have to settle straight back into their side-out rhythm, which is much improved from set 1. Renaniki's serve to deal with. Good pass. Slapped out by DeFalco. Won't get the benefit of the doubt from the referee this time. Well, I've got nothing but the highest praise for Liu Chang. Didn't really feature at all in the start of the season, with Kentaro and Dego Iwamoto as the two favoured middle blockers, but he's had to come in with the injury to Kentaro, and he's done brilliantly. Mizerski getting back into some hitting rhythm here. 15 points and counting then for Dmitry Mizerski. Boye, the only other man in double figures. He's on 11 for Stings. Good pass from DeFalco. Excellent read from Taishan Adera, who takes the return ball. Scary hit. It seems to be the modern way, doesn't it? To hit an opposition player and then apologise. The sorry not sorry, as it's called. Suntory open up a slightly worrying 3-point lead early here. Stings need to counter, and they get away with a free one from Mizerski. He's got his game face on, Mazerski. I think he was happy with losing that second set, and he's really working hard here for his team now in set 3. It's serve from Boye, great pass from Ran Takahashi, and it's defended by DeFalco. Chance for Stings then. Not good. Not so good either from Suntory. Messy rally. So either setter has covered themselves in glory at the moment. A lot of very tight balls to the block. Good serve from Kliuka. He's getting into his rhythm. Not so good on the set from Sekita. Maybe a bit low for Taisho Nadera. He didn't adjust his swing pattern and has blasted it out the back. Another opportunity goes begging. Untidy third set this so far. Fujiwara starting his second set in a row in favour of Kenya Fujinake. Well, I don't think anyone's hitting the ball more sweetly today than Ran Takahashi. This is another beautiful contact. Real snap on that. Hybrid serve from Onodera. Perfect. Perfect. Got the ball to the tape, but still gave DeFalco room to manoeuvre. Nice from Stings. Shuto Kawaguchi been very quiet today. In fact, he hasn't scored a point yet for Stings. Nikin Onodera have scored 6, fortunately. Liu Chang for Stings has scored 7. There he is. So he dominates in the middle at the moment. Nice. Oh, what a shot. DeFalco at his best. Passes it inside, stays inside, and whacks the living daylights out of it down the line. Beautiful. Well, I think Sekita is picking up on the fact that Ran looks like his most controlled attacker at the moment. So he's the hot arm. Some shot that is. Matching the brilliance of DeFalco. To give Suntory a 3-point lead, Ran Takahashi will serve. The captain, new captain of this Suntory team, taking over for the man who went to Stings, Kenya Fujinake. Can't provide anything from the baseline. Well, very quick change on the scorers table, because Ran, DeFalco, Boye all on 11 now. Joining Mazerski in double figures, who leads the game on 16. Well, he's continued to go to the hot arm, but Ran has overcooked this. Are we going to get a challenge? We are. So Olivier Lecard wants to look. He's had 2 challenges in the match so far, Lecard, up to this point. He's won both of those. He's going to challenge this one. A net fault, so thinks the block has touched the net here as Ran has blasted it out of play. He's got a case. Got a case, but how live was the ball when Boye collapses into the net? bit of a conundrum. Might be an easy one to sort out. And bizarrely, I think this is one of those decisions that in days gone by, before technology was available to us and the referees in volleyball, I think this probably would have passed without debate. It would have just been accepted that the ball was smacked out of play by Ran and let's get on with it. But the challenge has allowed us to look at the fact the net was touched. Having said that, Ran also piled into Boye, the blocker, before stepping over the line, so there's all sorts of things at play here. Atmosphere facilitators working hard to keep the atmosphere ticking along here in the Okazaki arena. Great team of people that work at the games for Stings. So there is a net touch, but it is the ball down, and the ball is out of play and down by the time Boye hits the net. So the challenge is lost. It was a good effort from the car, but the challenge is lost. The point is lost. And Stings reduced the lead to just one now. Just going to be explained to the crowd. Yeah, once that ball is ruled out of play, once the point is ruled as over, then whatever fault happens subsequently is irrelevant. Right, DeFalco with a shot here at trying to get a lead. Not easy after a break for the challenge. And one referee says out, the other says in. And the big referee, who matters at the top of the stand, agrees. The car's not going to challenge. This is an ace, and a very good one. Well, Kliuka's been the service target for Stings all game long. DeFalco just hits hard on that one. And Kliuka mistimes everything, including the old roundhouse. Now then, is Alan Diamas warming up? Is he fit to come in? Because Kliuka's having a bit of a tough time of it at the moment. First time out of set 3 is called by Olivier Lecard. Suntory go from a position of strength to a 1-point deficit. Now, it's not unusual for Dmitry Mazersky to sit out timeouts. He doesn't often stand around and contribute. He occasionally gets up and shares his point of view. But keep an eye on the body language, keep an eye on the dynamics out on the floor for Suntory, because having looked in perfect form in set 1, having looked in really good shape, they're now under pressure, and they don't seem as much of a team unit right now as Stings do. So just keep an eye on the body language, particularly of Big Dimmer. He looks a bit fed up today. Good serve. Good pass from Ran. Kliuka gets it away this time. That's a hell of a pass. Presentation of the platform, just beautiful from Ran Takahashi. So important now that Stings don't go through this next phase of rotations with Fujiwara responsible left side ahead of Fujinaka. So important they don't go through these rotations with errors. Possible Boye set or pipe set Instead goes middle. Yu Chang is covered nicely. And Mizerski chops it line. Well picked up by Kazuyuki. Sting still in the rally somehow. Kazuyuki gets in there, gives it to Boye, and Boye with another exquisite shot. Not the first time he's hit the cutter down the line. But he's done it perfectly again. Well played, Kazuyuki, the captain, put in a shift in that last point. Favour returned. Another off-pace ball from Mizerski and a clash of bodies on the Sting side of the net. Let's hope that's not a problem. But just a bit of moisture needs clearing up. Both players back on their feet. I love that shot. I love that low-down shot past the server to the banks of fans. Mizerski hits it well enough. And that's the way to do it. Fujiwara, so important that when he's given the ball, he scores. Had a bit of a struggle earlier in the set, but he's making the points here comfortably. The main change for Stings, and it's worked. Long ball to Kliuka. Horrible hit from him. Physically, Kliuka has the match of anyone in this league, but just every so often it can just get a bit out of sync. Boye needed to put it in, needed to put that one in. Suntory were under pressure on that rotation. Right, Diamas is going to get his chance, and he is going to come in for Kliuka. It's really the only substitution that he can come in for. Kliuka, who's been a bit mix and match from the service line, just temporarily goes to the bench. I think Diamas may stay out there to pass for the rotations, and then they bring Kliuka back. Let's see what the Cuban can do with his serve, though. Off pace, sensible serve. And that produces the blocking opportunity, which Taishi Onodera takes in style. Shuts down TJ DeFalco out of the back line. It was a low one. Well blocked. Diamas determined not to make an error. Puts a good ball in again. Defended. One-handed set. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. Taishi Onodera take a bow. One-handed set from the middleman. On the money. Rand scores. Timeout then. Coach Shimbo Kochiro of Stings. Just sensing a little bit of pressure again. Two serves in court. I mean, you can't get away from how important that's just been for Suntory. A couple of good serves in court from Diamas. Just gives his team a chance to play. One block and one bit of defensive and transition wizardry. And they go 18-16. Puts pressure on the next swing. Makes the blockers read potentially a bit easier. Boye surely favourite here. It's not to say he's going to get it, but the blockers will certainly be lining up for this. No, goes wide instead to Fujiwara. Defended beautifully by Agawa. Not put away by Mizerski. Brilliant from the captain, Kazuyuki. Oh, the block is awesome. Onodera's done it again. Well, a three-point run from Taishi Onodera. Blocks the DeFalco pipe. One-handed set to Rand. Blocks Boye. Take a bow, Taishi. Take a bow, Diamas, and until that point, gave his team a chance. Now then, he's done his job. The reward is Diamas is going to stay on the floor as a passing substitute for Kliuka at the moment. We'll see if Kliuka returns. They'll need his blocking height potentially towards the end of the set. Fujiwara, good serve, overpass. Not played very well by Stings. Well, I think DeFalco was very worried about getting involved with the ball there, with the potential that the setter, Sekita, was going to touch it and let a chance go. Once again, Kashiwada brought in as a blocking substitution for Sekita. Kashiwada at 193, Sekita at 175, so more height at the net. No setter on court for Suntory. And the block not able to do its job against a rampant DeFalco. Back comes the playmaker. Well, at the moment, the game has turned on a brilliant three-point run from Taishi Onodera. That's given Suntory the advantage. Good defense. And very well played. Quite circumspect there from Suntory. They thought their way through that point. Sekita decided to make the touch and just gives it straight to the libero Ogawa, and the two former Stings players set it up nicely for Mazerski to score for their new team, Suntory. Sekita serves, Mazerski into the front court. Well defended, good set, brilliant finish. Suntory once again on the front foot. And smiling at last, body language much better. Second time out in quick succession by coach Shimbo Koichiro signals that Stings now struggling in this third set. Translator there for the benefit of Boye, DeFalco and Lucarelli, barking out the coach's instructions, translated from Japanese to English. Four-point lead then for Suntory. Sunbirds Osaka in the light blue. Chance to go to 2-1 in the match. Chance to go even further ahead in the set. Taken. It's an onslaught, it's belligerent. It's just virtually impossible to stop Mazerski with a ball that's in system and has got a bit of tempo. Yu Chang gave it his best shot, unable to stop him. 23-18. Diamas may not get round to that next substitution change if Suntory keeps scoring. They do. Boye into the net. Suntory one away then from the lead, and Stings have played so well in the last 45 minutes or so, but now Suntory back to some of their best that we saw in set one. Sekita to serve again. Tight, good set. Boye finishes well. That's a beautiful piece of setting from Yudai Kawahigashi. Mazerski, incidentally, is mighty close to a fault on the centre line, but just about legal. Mazerski, incidentally, has managed to get into the 20s with a run of points in this third set. And that's 22 for the game, 25 for the set. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka lead by 2 sets to 1. 25 points to 19, a little more convincing, the scoreboard suggests, than it actually looked at times. Stings played hard, but just a reminder that as soon as they dip below their peak performance, that optimum performance level, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka have the attacking prowess to just force the issue and score rapidly. Play of the day for me, Taishionadera's one-handed set to Ran Takahashi, the modern middle player. Has to be adept in so many aspects of the game, and here in Japan required to pass quite a bit as well in that front line on the short serves. Taishionadera with a great run of points, followed by Dmitry Mizerski, really making sure of it. He's now the game's top scorer on 22, and the big man just getting a pat of encouragement from the mercurial coach, Olivier Lecard, who just has a great relationship with these Suntory players. Found another nice squad for this season. Alexander Swivka's departure left a hole, but that was covered nicely, and then changed the playmaker as well as the libero. So Agawa and Sekita coming in from today's opponents. Stings in the off-season. Here's Masahiro Sekita, the little general. Running a good show. Stings battled hard through to the mid-phase, but then just lost that optimum performance, and unfortunately that's going to allow Suntory to power on. Still in the match though. Undoubtedly still in the match. Can they drag this to 5? Can they at least ask a question? Wolf Dogs managed to do it a couple of weeks ago against Suntory, but lost in 5. Tokyo Great Bears as well got them to 5 sets as in one of their games 5 weekends back now. Not many teams have tested Suntory this season though to the max. Only one team, Osaka Blution, has beaten them. First game of the season. Other than that, they've been perfect. Away we go then with set number 4. Masahiro Sekita, former Stings player, now setter with Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, gets it underway. And the team in light blue, the visitors, Suntory, lead the match by 2 sets to 1. Chasing their 23rd victory on the bounce. And we're going to start with a challenge. Point number 1, extended rally, which Ran Takahashi thinks he's won with a hit off the block. And very confident about it he was as well. Free was initially given the point to Stings, so there needs to be compelling evidence that it was touched by the block. No confession from the blockers just yet. It was mighty close, wasn't it, to the block of Kawahigashi? But millimetres high, and Run Takahashi can't believe that this hasn't been given as a touch. But remember, the referees said no, so the evidence has to be there. One of the only coaches that can get away with doing that. He's gone straight over to the officials at the scorer's table to question why they didn't see it. But nothing there to suggest that it was a definite touch. And straight away, Stings do what they did in set 2. They move into a 2-point lead. Chang takes his tally to 8 for the match. Suntory have a bit of early pressure. But they have Dmitry Mazerski to deal with that pressure, and he so often does. Good high ball set, just allowing Mazerski to attack right at the top of his reach. Serve. Great pass and good reach from Mazerski. Little fake shot from DeFalco, nearly fools Suntory. Yeah, good shots, good work for 3-1 to Stings. On the home side, in yellow and red, with a bright start to the 4th. Serve. Mazerski with a good finish. They're using him a lot at the moment, Dmitry Mazerski. Igor Kliuka incidentally back into a starting role, so Diamas returns to the bench, but Olivier Lecard knows he has that substitution to call upon, and Diamas did really well in set 3. Ren Aniki, middle blocker. Slides it down the line. DeFalco from his knees passes, and Yu Chang clips it off the block and scores. He's going to make double figures in this game, I think, Yu Chang. Shonadera given a chance to hit back. Doesn't do so, and Boye forces the ball off Kliuka's hands for the score. We're back to the situation we had in set number 2, where Stings looked like the team playing as a team. Suntory, a little fractured in their performance, calling on individual skills to win the day. Madera giving it again, Sakita. It's some unusual setting choices there. Stings don't care, they're just going to make the most of it. And they move to 6-2, forcing Lecard into a very early timeout. Well, just another example of Lecard's timeout brilliance, the way he conducts himself with his players. That was a very experienced coach and former player walking amongst an equally experienced and talented group of athletes and essentially just saying, you're okay, boys, I'll leave it to you to get it done. You know what the problems are. No shouting, no recriminations, just a bit of trust. Well, that trust not rewarded. very good from Stings to go 7-2. 5 sets, he's on the cards here. Finish from Boye. Third set on the bounce from Sekita to Onodera, who finally puts it away. Right, first Mazurski service run that Stings have to survive. They've got to get rid of him here in 1 or 2 points. Nice, brilliant touch from Ogawa. Brilliant from Mazurski, well defended by DeFalco. Great volleyball. Boye can't find the floor with the cutter this time. Mazurski goes again. Superb defense from Kawahigashi. Oh, what a brilliant rally. Well, that was superb volleyball, both sides of the net. DeFalco and Kawahigashi making 2 unbelievable defensive pickups. And then a very clever piece of positioning from Tomohiro Ogawa down the line to deny Boye his cut shot. Clever stuff from the Liberos, clever and brave defence from the teams all around. After all of that, Mazurski gets another serve and beats DeFalco to the floor, and Suntory recovering the situation. Horrible ball to deal with, no surprise. Shimbo Koichiro has gone to the timeout. It's the Mazurski show at the moment in terms of Suntory keeping the show on the road. I can't believe he hasn't been given an ace on that last ball. Not appeared yet on the computer, but he's on 24 at the moment. I thought he'd gone to 25 there. Either way, he's the game's top scorer by a long way. Boye and DeFalco with 16 and 14 apiece, keeping it together for Stings. 2 points in it now. Mazurski goes again, hits it well. Boye blocked. It'll be Boye Kliuka again, and he wins that contest, but the defenders slow him down. Mazurski takes the quick ball. DeFalco gets the defense. Onodera doesn't hit it, and then slips. Sekita didn't see his middleman had fallen there, and Stings make the most of it. Well, Sekita's reliance on Onodera through the middle at the moment, penalised savagely here as the middle boy slips. Good work from DeFalco. And the ball, in the end, put away. Gucci at last. That's a point, by the way. He's got 1 point in the game for Stings at the moment, the middleman. That is worrying on many, many levels. TJ DeFalco in a little bit of bother after this, has tweaked his knee on the turn and dive. A word with the physio. USA coach Koch Kirai will be watching this very closely. Let's hope it's okay for TJ DeFalco and for Stings. He's still out there. Boye takes away all the pain with an ace. And Stings back into a commanding lead. Focus back on the match now after that worrying moment for DeFalco. The ballooned out of play this time, but a lead that Stings can work with once again. Remember, Kliuka and Mizerski next to each other in the rotation, so you've got the potentially dangerous serve of Kliuka to follow, but Olivier Lecard has decided to go for the substitution to bring Alain Diamas in again at the service line and then to pass for Kliuka. So he certainly made a difference when he came on in set number 3 late in the game, or late in the set. And DeFalco still flexing that knee. Diamas, good serve. Oh, superb pace. And Kawaguchi, who's had almost no influence on the match, has managed to get his second point in set 4. Nice set, nice finish, not much room either. Diamas' serve then is negotiated. He stays out as a passer for Kliuka. I just wonder if Lecard fancies leaving Diamas on in the front line. And we'll get to see this time around. We didn't actually get to that rotation in set number 3 because there was a great run of points for Suntory and they finished it while Diamas was still back court. Overpass, not taken on the first swing. Ran Takahashi goes on the third touch and Mizerski forced into action. Still Stings defend. And defend and attack in transition quite brilliantly. DeFalco looks fine. Hell of a pick-up from Fujiwara, right on the setter's head as well. Sekita is going to be beaten all day long on that court. Well, the impossibility of that angle made possible by the brilliance and the range of Dmitry Mizerski. It was some set to get the ball to him, but it was an even better swing. He can't resist, and Big Dimmer dispensing a bit of advice to his fellow players. But he is a former middle blocker, remember, and it might be the advice that Renoniki needed to hear as he makes the shutdown. For once, Liu Chang not able to score. That would have taken Liu Chang to double figures if he won that point, but he didn't. 2-point deficit once again. Suntory working hard to close the gap, and Stings working hard to maintain it. Diamas given a pipe attack. I wonder if that keeps him on court. It's a good finish from the Cuban. Kliuka has misfired a bit in this set. And he's been allowed to move into the front court, so Igor Kliuka stays on the bench. Takahashi blasts it out of bounds. Huge lead early on for Stings. They've managed to keep a lead. DeFalco's turn to miss the serve. Maybe doesn't look as comfortable. That doesn't seem to be clutching the knee anymore, which is good news. Heavy season of international competition ahead again for the players with the Volleyball Nations League on the way. Follow every play, every ball, every match here on VBTV throughout the summer. Well, Stephen Boye's moved into a slightly different gear now. 18 points for him in the match, chasing Mizerski on 26 as the lead scorers. And Liu Chang looking to make his way to 10 points. Played well through the middle for Stings. Mazurski blasts it home. That ball is travelling so quickly. The chance to react is limited here, and that's right on the edge of Liu Chang's reaction time, let alone movement time. Right, Mazurski's chance to close the gap again. Better ball toss. Fujiwara deals with the serve and deals with the offense. Good work from him, and a very important side out in the context of this set for Stings. Right decision once again by the setter Kawahigashi to try and get the ball out wide for Sekita to be attacked. And Sekita with a great one-handed block. Boye though, too good. He's making all the shots at the moment. And Diamas has been allowed to stay on court in the front line, but he's not able to get the blocking height against Boye. Something Kliuka automatically possesses at 2 meters and 9 against Diamas at 190. As you often hear coaches say, you can't teach height. Second time out for the cup. They've gone up and down the emotional roller coaster today, haven't they, Suntory? They were all smiles at the end of set number 3 and looked back to their best, but they've been pushed again in set 4, and once again looking a little concerned. Less communication, less cohesion. Massive, absolutely massive from Mazurski. You have got to be bulletproof defending down the line against him. To Diamas's serve, good one. Free ball. Not a great pass from Onodera. Fortunately, Ran Takahashi fixes his point really nicely on the swing and makes it count. Superb effort to keep that off the floor. And this is a classy swing. 2 points in it. Diamas again, off pacer, well read. And well defended by Diamas. Mazurski once again thrashes it. Boy, how did he defend that? And just can't finish. Not bad from Ran Takahashi. Goes straight over the top of the blocker on the last point. And then this time around, same route, but a very different tactic, and it's worked a treat. Scoreline edges closer and closer. Can Diamas put a third ball in play? Cuban has done well since coming on from the bench. Hits it massively, but massively out. He'll stay on though. He'll stay on to pass. However, if he gets round to the front line again, and he should, I would imagine the temptation for Lakar will be to bring the blocking height of Kliuka back into the situation. We'll see what the scoreline is like when that occurs. Fujiwara, good serve. Great pass, Diamas. Takes the pipe, hits it well. Off the blockers into the third row of the crowd. Now that's a great ball. Sting's got to work hard here. Keep the side outs coming. Shonadera has a little flirt with the sideline. Just out on the hybrid. Higashi leaves the floor temporarily for Sato Sake. Sasaki comes in as a blocker, but as you saw when he did this in set 2, he produced a very nice set out to Boye in the backcourt to win the point. Give Stings the advantage. Nice. Well, he's so reliable, and even if he's having a relatively quiet day, which it feels like he is today, Mazurski, well, he's still scored 28 points. That is insane. Another player into the 20s as well with him, Boye. Mazurski into the front court, that's good for Suntory. Sakita in the back line. Sting's got to work hard here to finish. Good defense from Diamas once more. Run, chops it down. That is a beautiful shot. Well, the players work for many, many hours on their ball contact on the swing. And Ran using all of his experience and all of his training there to cut this ball down with precision. Well, you learn plenty of things watching and commentating on the Dido Life SV League. And a couple of those things are never say never where a set is concerned. Never say die where a comeback is concerned. There's always room for drama. And there's a bit of drama here at the back of set 4. As Suntory power their way back into contention. 18-all then. A 5th set now. Not guaranteed by any means. Boye blocked. Well defended. Not coming back though. And what a time for Suntory to find the A game once again. 19-18 from a deficit of 5 points, remember, at one point early in the set. Suntory now have a lead they can take all the way to the bank for win number 23 of the season. Sakita strokes it into play. DeFalco goes hard at the top of Mazurski's hands. Nineteens. Side out pressure on Suntory now. Mazurski can't put it away. DeFalco. Oh, he gets roofed out of sight by Aniki. Oh my goodness. I decided to take it on the angle. You'll notice that Ran Takahashi had taken his hands away. But he challenges Aniki, and Aniki wins that one for 2019. Suntory survive. Ran, good serve, bang on the baseline. And Captain Fantastic has done it again. 21-19, Suntory now with the advantage. License to go for it again. Takes the pace off this time though. Oh, he's got there. Thoroughly deserved. Liu Chang with a brilliant performance today makes it to 10 points. And middles don't often get into double figures. More importantly, he's closed the gap to 1, and DeFalco's the next server for Stings. He has to go off pace. Why did Aniki pass that? Well, they've got away with it. They have got away with it, courtesy of a pinpoint accurate hit by Alan Diamas. But Ren Aniki there, having a go at a ball he shouldn't have played. matters not when your team can still turn the scoreboard. We've got a challenge. It's an in-out call by Shimbo Koichiro because he's used both of his timeouts as the Stings coach. So he basically just wants to slow the game here by burning one of his challenges. I don't think he's got any chance of winning it. There we go. It is absolutely in, bang on the baseline from the Cuban. And first time in a while, in comes Rui Takahashi as the substitute server. In comes Kenya Fujinaka as a very good substitute passer. That is one element to his game that never seems to change. Although today, not quite been on his game as Kenya Fujinaka. Maybe the All-Stars match took it out of him last weekend. Lucarelli also in, double sub. Two new passers and one new attacker with Lucarelli, but he is immediately put on the floor by the gigantic block of Dmitry Mizerski. And Suntory now in control of the match. This is their game to lose. That's a tough ask from the bench. Boy, a favourite surely. Gets the reuse. Goes again. Defended. Chance to win the point. Mizerski. Well, it was tight, but he's used all of his weight and touches that ball by the looks of it second to force the joust to the floor. Good hustle from Rui. And good effort. Good effort from Mizerski. 24 points to 20 then. Match points, all of them, for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Good serve from Rui. Good swing from Boye, but here's the chance to win the game straight off, and we're going to get a challenge. Well, the set from Sekita wasn't good. I'm not sure that would have been put away, but we're going to get a mid-point challenge, and it could be the end of the game here. If Shimbo Koichiro is wrong, it could be the end of the game. Net touch is what he thinks he's seen from one of the Suntory players. Just see that once again Suntory bubbling. They look like a happy team, a team that are back onto kind of form where they need to be. A team that feels they've won it. Well, if the challenge is successful, the point will go. There is a net touch, but it looks like it's from Boye. And that's it. That's it. A big smile from Stephen Boye confirming the challenge is unsuccessful. And therefore, it is a rather tame finish to the game. 25 points to 20. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka win set number 4 with a powerful comeback. All explained to the crowd. And we are denied the big celebration on the finish, but that's how it goes with technology sometimes. Right decision was reached, but via the wrong challenge. 25 points to 20 in set 4, 3 sets to 1. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka romp to their 23rd victory on the bounce against Jtekt Stings Aichi, and the team they beat last year in the championship decider, they beat in game 1 of this weekend doubleheader to cement their position top of the Daido Life SV League table. 25-14, good comeback from Jtekt Stings in set 2, 25-22, but then 25-19, 25-20, very solid from Olivier Lecar's team, despite the tests handed out by Stings in sets 2 and 4. They get it over the line, and they are the team that get to celebrate. Well, disappointing day for Stings. Boye played well for his 20 points. DeFalco was in there fighting for 16, but it was the pure power of Mazurski. 31 points from him. Ran Takahashi, 16 points, that provided the scoring power for Suntory Sunbirds as they go about their traditional laps of honour celebration. That's all then from the Okazaki Central Park Gymnasium. We'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow on VBTV for the return match, as Suntory Sunbirds Osaka look to extend their streak to 24. Jtekt Stings Aichi will be looking for the win to preserve their 3rd place in the table. For now though, thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow, and from me, Simon Golding, I'll say goodbye. See you again soon.
さて、まずは試合お疲れ様でした。試合振り返っていかがでしょうか。
はい、非常に Jtekt さんもいい試合というか、いいプレーをしてきてたので非常に苦しめられましたし、でも最後しっかり勝ち切れたことが自分たちにとっては大きな自信につながるので、しっかりと勝ててよかったと思います。
今日もね、結構満員ということで結構お客さんも多く集まりました。このあたり応援というのはいかがだったでしょう。
いや非常にすごい盛り上がりでしたし、やっぱり Jtekt さんの得点が決まると、自分たちも圧倒されるような声援だったので、本当に素晴らしい会場だなと思いました。本当にたくさんの声援ありがとうございました。
さあ、そしてサントリーサンバーズ大阪24連勝、チーム新記録ということになりました。本当におめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
このあたりの記録についてはご自身いかがでしょうか。
そうですね、非常に記録を更新できたことは嬉しく思いますし、でも連勝というよりも一試合一試合しっかり勝っていくことが自分たちは、ファイナルに向けても重要です、重要なので、しっかりその中でも、強いチーム、優勝できるチームというところを求めながら、頑張っていきたいと思います。
それでは最後にファンの皆様に向けて一言お願いいたします。
はい、今日もお忙しい中会場に足を運んでいただきありがとうございます。本当に皆さんの、声援が、コート内まで届いてますし、皆さんの声援があってこそ、このバレーボールが、盛り上がっていると思います。本当に感謝しています。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。高橋藍選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。さあ、そして見事POM を受賞しました高橋選手には本日のマッチデースポンサーの株式会社トヨタレンタリース愛知様よりイエスイエストヨタレンタリース愛知特別賞が贈られます。副賞としましてお米 100kg 相当のお米ギフトカードが贈られます。プレゼンターは株式会社トヨタレンタリース愛知取締役常務執行役員鈴木司様、イーストリース営業部部長柴田慎一郎様になります。お二人よろしくお願いいたします。それでは贈呈です。皆さん大きな拍手をお送りください。そのままフォトセッションです。フォトセッションを行っております。
っかりと反省してまた明日、いい試合ができるように、切り替えていきたいと思いますので、明日も温かいご声援よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございました。明日の勝利を信じております。それでは最後は3、2、1、ゴースティングスで締めていきますので、温度をお願いいたします。
はい、いきます。3、2、1、ゴースティングス。
ありがとうございました。今日も熱い戦いをした選手たちに大きな拍手をお送りください。
さあ次